this set of modifications that are currently on the RT, if you replicate it, you duplicate it, and you spend similar amount of money, you're going to be very happy with the performance that you walk away with. Hey, what are you guys doing down here? So many of you have the question of how much money did I actually spend on the RT, and how does it compare if I were to have gotten a 392? So that's basically what we're going to go over. We're going to talk about all the modifications that are currently on the RT, how much it cost me, and would I have been better off getting a 392? All right, guys, so I am going to try and answer a whole bunch of questions today. The 392 versus the cammed 5.7 video really opened up the door to a lot of questions, and you know, really the bulk of this video is going to be cost of ownership. What would the 392 have cost me versus modding this RT? Okay, so we're going to go over the cost comparison between the two. Now, before I get, you know, kind of kicked off and everything, the Chargers and the Challengers are offered in 4 engine types. You have the 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi, which is the Hellcats. You have the 392, you have the 5.7, and then you have the V6. Now, I take a lot of pride in the 5.7. I absolutely love the 5.7. I've looked at full builds and have realized that the potential of the 5.7 is unbelievable. That being said, putting money aside, like I said, you always want to start off with the highest or the best engine or the best trim level that you can possibly get your hands on. The reason why is because typically the potential or the money to get to certain levels is greater. Okay, so you would spend less money to make a 392 get to a certain point than a 5.7, so on and so on and so on. Anybody that says otherwise is yanking your chain. They're talking out of their butt. Okay, with that being said, we are going to kick it off with a 392. Now, the 392 information that I am going to give is one that I came very, very close to actually buying, and that was a 2013 392 with the 5-speed. It was a Super B. I absolutely loved it. Let's kick it off. I was looking at a 2013 392, and I was looking to put $15,000 down. The minimum that they would take was $355 per month for 72 months. And that would have equaled out to a little over $25,000 plus the $15K down. You're looking at, after 7 years, I would have paid for a 2013 392 40K, okay? Around the 40K mark. Now, the problem with the 392 was my insurance. They were quoting me at anything with a 392 at $155 per month. So if you're going to, you know, buy a 392, just know that you're going to be paying a little bit more in insurance. I know that prices all vary depending on where you live. But for me, After 72 months, I would have paid about $11,000 in insurance bills if I were to have gotten that 392, making it a grand total of cost of ownership around $51,000 after 72 months, okay? That is without gas or anything like that. That is just to own the vehicle and have it just sit in my driveway. Now, the RT, we'll go over the modifications in a minute, was a 2015 RT was $275 for 72 months, which was closing in on 20,000. So that is about $5,500 less, with $15,000 down, which would have put me at $34K. Okay, and then my insurance bills were $85 a month times 72 months, and you're looking at a little less than half of what I spent for the 392. So you're talking $6,120, putting a grand total of almost $41,000. So you're talking $10,000 between the two after 72 months of ownership. How much money is coming out of my bank account? Okay, the difference between the two. Now, let's do what is currently on the RT, okay, performance-wise. And let me also just say that if I were to have gotten a 2015 plus 392, the costs would have been much greater, okay, than this 392 that I spec'd out that I was trying to get. So just keep that in mind. Now, the modifications that are currently on the RT is the cam. Okay, to get it installed, everything, it was around $2,500. Okay, most people will likely end up spending a little bit extra, a little bit more for that. The reason why I don't get too far into pricing typically is because depending on where you live is really the cost. Okay, the shop that you go to, the quality of the shop that you go to, yada yada, you know, you get what I'm saying. But most people will end up spending between $2,500 and $3,000 for a cam. Now, the full intake, which includes the manifold that I paid $450 for, the throttle body, the intake, the install, you know, you're looking at $450 for the manifold. Throttle body and intake was $400, and the install was $300 for everything. Okay, and then you need to, before you do anything to your car, you need to unlock your PCM and you need to get yourself a tuner. So that was $650. Now, if you don't plan on getting any kind of a tuner, you could probably unlock your PCM for $250. Okay, but I got the whole, you know, unlocked PCM with the tuner. I think it was $280. That's what it was. Now, a big bill was the headers, the high flow cat, and the 3-inch MagnaFlow catback exhaust. All of it was purchased, installed, everything for $3,500. Okay, and then so that is a grand total of $7,830 tacked onto my RT. You know, $500 for a dyno tune. Okay. Because that's typically the ballpark of what you would do. You know, that's really just all that. So for just the car alone versus just the car alone, put the insurance out of it, you're talking $40,000 total for the 392, the 2013 392, $40,000 versus the 2015 RT, which was $34,000 plus $8,000, and you know, my RT is now more expensive than the 392. And on top of that, you know, you guys have to take into account that the rear end on the RT needs to get upgraded. The looks of a Scat Pack are greater, you know, even, you know, there's a lot to factor more than just performance when you're doing all this stuff. But also too, I like the ability to have a sleeper. Okay, I like pulling up to a stop sign and hurting feelings. You know, someone thinks that I just have a little 5.7 and they, you know, it's not going to really challenge them. And then looking at their faces when I leave them in the dust, that to me is so much fun. On top of that, you know, modding has allowed me to build out this channel. Modding has allowed me to learn a lot about cars. So, you know, there's always different sides to an argument, okay? Many of the 392 owners, regardless of which one they have, whether it's a Super B, a Scat Pack, an SRT, they don't really go past a mid-muffler delete, tires, rims, okay? Maybe an intake, but that's really the extent of where they go. And had I gone a different route, I may not have gone down this deep with a 392. Budget, as you saw, the difference in the insurance, it was different. You know, this RT has allowed me to save money, and with that saved money, I modded. Then, you know, it turned into a channel, and the channel has slowly been able to help me pay for a lot of this stuff. So, you know, I don't have any regrets. I don't, you know, or anything like that. The goal to all of this is to show you guys what it is that I did, and you determine what is best for your budget. It's your money, guys. If you want to make a sleeper and you want to hurt feelings and all that stuff, you know, go the modding route. It's fun as hell. But, you know, if you want to get into a car with already awesome performance, you know, you get yourself a 392 or a Hellcat or something like that, and you don't ever have to touch the engine. Or, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point of all of that is it's your money, it's your hobby. You determine what you want to do with it. So you guys have the cost breakdown of everything. And always, you know, yes, the Charger had shorty headers before. The Charger had a different intake before. It had different setups. And the point of all of this is I'm trying to mod my car to achieve something, okay? And I was trying to make it where I tried a whole bunch of different modifications to see what worked best. And this set of modifications that are currently on the RT, if you replicate it, you duplicate it, and you spend similar amount of money, you're going to be very happy with the performance that you walk away with. And another thing that a side note, I did not cover rims and tires, and the reason why is because no matter what car I had, it was going to get rims and tires. I didn't cover wicker bills or any visual stuff, because no matter what car I had, I would have always done some kind of visual upgrade to it. So I was trying to be fair with if I got a 392 versus an RT. And always remember, guys, this stuff is all a hobby. And no matter what, you're supposed to just have fun with it.
And that is all I have to say about it.